morality, and you do not violate the ethics code, which is still being evolved. There's no one right sort of ethical code, right? Different countries are having different ethical codes. Morality could be just as simple as it is right or wrong, but ethical code takes it to the next level, right? So why will you still evolve?
So I'd like to take your opinion and how it's going to change your field, what you do for a living, and how AI is going to change that. So could you set the ball rolling in 2 minutes, please?
I'll be very quick. First of all, every technology that comes in will first have the naysayers. When Uber came in, people were like, oh, Uber, it will not be good, it's not going to work. Today, every driver, if he's not on Uber, has no business. So you're going to have naysayers to every technology that comes in. And every technology will bring in challenges. Like when Uber came in, people were worried about safety and things like this, how will it work and so forth.
We are going to talk about all those things.
Yeah.
How it is affecting you.
How is it affecting me? First of all, for marketing, it's become easier. If I go on to ChatGPT, I can just type, help me write a write-up about a mentalist who's 39 years old, and the keywords like, I'm an Indian and I'm performing for this, can you help me write a 150-word intro? It does it instant. And of course, I'm not doing a cut copy job there. I put my brains and I change it. But yes, it helps me make a bare bone skeleton very easily. So this is one. Number two, with a lot of marketing concepts about, coming up with content for your website and SEO kind of, content, it is very easy to do that. I have written one book which I published. It's called Life on Track, 10 Life Lessons from Mumbai's Local Trains. And I have 7 more on the anvil. So for one of them, I needed the name of the book, ideas. So it helped me instantly. So yes, it is, it's a boon, and every boon also brings a bane. Like Shiv Bhagwan gives a boon to all the people who ask for it, but they end up doing something wrong with it, right? So the idea behind that is philosophically, you get good things, learn to use it for good, don't turn it bad.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Now, from the oldest panel member, Abhishek, we go to the youngest one. May I invite Shagun?
Oh, wow.
And thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you for your opinion. You can give the mic to Shagun.
Thank you so much, but I'm honored. Thank you.
We wanted to make it more inclusive, so we are waiting for more people to come. Maybe once we have enough people, we can invite one more person on the stage. We want this to be more interactive. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that comes to mind, AI. First thing is we are not very clear about the difference between AI and ML, what is machine learning and what is artificial intelligence. And there's a lot of confusion about how AI is going to take away jobs, whether it's going to create jobs. A lot of numbers were thrown at us since morning. Somebody spoke about demographic dividend that India has entered into, and very soon we'll be having the largest workforce in the entire globe. And if jobs go away, what they are going to do, or if jobs are going to get created, what sort of talent they need, what sort of skills those people are going to need to be employable as well as deployable. So, first of all, thank you, panel. And I'm really glad to see there are 4 ladies in our panel, because the morning panel was all stags. So ladies, thanks a lot for traveling all the way, bearing Pune traffic. I'll set the ball rolling with you, Tulsi. So your field, like, media, and you're very closely related to it. How do you see AI? So if you could just tell us what AI means to you, and should we be worried about AI?
So what is AI? I mean, there's a lot about AI in terms of what it means. You just Google, you get the definition. But according to me, for me, AI is a friend. I would go a little deep into this. Everything that we do today, it has to be for the betterment of humanity and eventually for the good of the society. So the question is AI good for us?
of no. Yes is obvious. Um, so there's always a fair balance that is crucial. You need to maintain. AI, we've been hearing words like disruption and chaos and fear whenever we see a new technology come in, right? It's not just with AI. So this is not the first time that we have this FOMO or we have this fear or insecurity because we have artificial intelligence around us. And the word disruption, I do not see it as a negative word. I see it as a word of possibilities. Because the moment you are into your comfort zone and you are introduced to something which is new and challenging, that's when you start feeling the pressure and it's human, you are resistant to change, right? And the reason why we see it as a disruption is because we feel we're fearing it. We're not ready. We should have been ready at a much faster pace than we are today. It's not that we are not doing enough. We are, but then the pace at which we are progressing in terms of working towards AI and the AI-related opportunities has to pick up. AI, I feel, should be actually seen as a virtual assistant to us than seeing it as a threat. The reason why I feel fear is because we've not been able to befriend AI. And AI can help us do a lot of mundane tasks. Of course, it can perform certain key tasks of handling complex data and providing analytical analysis and giving you a lot of insights. But at the end of the day, it's the human beings who make the decisions. Now, we human beings are actually designed to perform complex, strategic, emotional thinking, and creative thinking kind of tasks. We haven't been able to leverage even 10% of our cognitive ability. Universally, I'm saying till date. And so with the 10% of achievement also, we've come this far as a civilization. So imagine if we were to leverage our cognitive ability beyond this 10% and make it some 20%, 25%, imagine what we can achieve. So AI is something which can actually help us, free our time in terms of doing the administrative work that we are doing today and look at our contribution in a very different lens. So the work that we are doing is not going away. There is somebody who's there to assist. But we got to explore, rethink on how is it that we can do better than what we are doing. So we should actually see this as an eye-opener for ourselves and not look at this as a threat and say, okay, what are we doing? Are we happy doing the administrative work, or do we want to really use our cognitive ability and do something better, put our mind to something better? And the way I see it, AI cannot be friends in some areas and be a threat in some areas. So what I mean by that is, we all use AI, trust me, in a day-to-day basis. So today, if Facebook is able to tag us, how does it do it? It's a face recognition technique using AI that happens. We get Netflix suggestions. How does it happen, right? So it's AI system that studies our choices and gives us recommendations. We Google something, right, and you get the information. So it's a technology that's working in the back end. Today you have ChatGPT that gives you the best of all the collated answers. So that's again AI technology. banking solutions, you have so many queries, you have basic issues to address, you have a bot talking to you today. Right? So all of this is possible through AI. So all of your mundane tasks, all of the administrative work, the work that is taking a lot of time, it actually frees you up to be able to do better. So I don't really see this as a threat or as something to worry about. The worry happens because we are not ready. So we got to prepare ourselves, and we got to get into this continuous learning mindset to be able to tackle such situations. What we feel is fair, but if we are ready, I think we'll be able to handle it in a much better way.
Great. That's a very positive way of looking at the disruption and the changes that are going to come. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also introduce Mr. Joy, who the entire panel has nominated to be our devil's advocate. So whatever the panel members say, he is going to look at the darker side of what we are saying, right? So Joy, what's your opinion about what Tulsi said? She's looking at it a very positive way, saying that repetitive and mundane tasks, why don't we just hand it over to someone and let's focus on something creative and increasing our cognitive abilities.
Well, thank you. That's very interesting. I know speaking is easy, listening is difficult. I think the difficult task has been assigned to you, the easier task is given to us. Now, there are 2-3 things. One is, I'm really scared of AI and any more of this stuff happening in our life. The reason being, children get used to looking at navigations through the applications, and then, they go to school using the application, they come back home using the application again, the navigation application. What if the application doesn't work one day? They don't go to school, and you run the risk of they not coming back home? I don't know. I'm just asking you. Secondly, some of the studies clearly indicate the future of the aircraft or the cockpit is going to be significantly different. A lot of the accidents, the minimal number of accidents actually happen either during takeoff or during landing is what he said. And a lot of investment, I would have loved the Google person to be here to listen to this story. A lot of investment and how shall I say, innovation is happening to automate that small piece of landing and takeoff, because that's where human intervention happens. Rest is almost on, let's call it as, all sorts of applications. The future of the cockpit is going to have 2 people or 2 things. One is going to be a dog, the other one is going to be a human being. Now, human being is going to be for people like me, who will be scared to sit in an aircraft without a human pilot. And the dog is going to do the job of making sure the human pilot sitting in the cockpit does not touch any buttons at all. Now, I want to ask you, would you like to fly? Would you like to choose to fly? When, the pilot has nothing to do, and the dog watches the pilot as to what does he do, and what does the dog watch? The dog will watch to make sure the human person does not do anything. I'm not a big fan of flying when that software gets installed, so to say.
Thank you, Joy. Shagun, I know we caught you by surprise. So we'll come to you, and what we would like to know from you is the perspective of the young generation, because future is yours. And as you grow, become a teenager, go to college, pass out, and then look out for a job, what would be your thoughts? So I'll come back to you. Meanwhile, what I'll also request is, out of these audience, if somebody has any intelligent question, right? Yeah. Can you get that question also for us?
Okay.
Right? While the session is going on. Yeah. So I come to you, Manjari. Very well said. One was a very positive aspect of how AI is going to disrupt change, and how there is a flip side to it. Now, you have been in the HR field for a long time, seen many companies, served a lot of people. How do you think the job market is going to change, especially with the advent of AI-based learnings, and the flip side of AI, which Joy brought out, right? We look at deep fake nowadays. What sort of deep fakes do you see may come from the candidates or others, and how that is going to change?
So, thanks, Pratap, and I agree with what she mentioned. Tulsi, she gave a very positive aspect about how AI will sort of be an enabler for all of us. And just to give you a perspective, I think because we are talking about more from an employment point of view, I'll give you an example in the organizations how things are going to change or are actually changing. I was talking to him and he also mentioned that their companies already started adopting a lot of AI tools, and so is with us. So one of the things that we've actually came up as a charter for this year is that how do we accelerate or how do we enhance the pace of adoption for all the AI related tools that are available in the market today. So when one of the like Tulsi mentioned that a lot of mundane or repetitive tasks will go away because a lot of it is going to be taken care by AI-related tools. And that's precisely what we are aiming towards. That from an operations perspective, if we were to make our operations very, very efficient, where in each of our functions, where would we think or where do you think that you will be able to instill AI-related tools to make your job more better, more efficient, and your focus will go not from the regular tasks that you do in Excel sheets, more from making sure that whatever data analysis that has been done or insights that have been provided by the AI tools, how do we make sure that we leverage those to make the right kind of decisions, right? So with this, what is happening is some of the jobs will certainly get disrupted. Right? A lot of disruption is going to happen, or I would say displacement is going to happen in terms of certain roles. But when that will happen, a lot of other roles are also opening up, right? So the important aspect here is for each individual, the right thing to do right now at this stage or, is look at what are their areas of interest and make sure that they learn and adopt to the technology tools that are available in the market, which will enhance further in what they're doing. So if they are doing, let's say, 100% of the job, out of that, today if they are doing 50%, which is on Excel sheets or Word or PowerPoints, eliminate that and make it 10% of the jobs. And the remaining 80%, they could focus on more strategic decision making or providing insights or making sure that they do something which will enhance the overall efficiency at the organization level. This will not just make sure that you, in a way, a lot of productivity is going to go up, right? Because you are enabling the top line. You're going to increase the top line because now something that you could do with, let's say, 10 employees, you've actually cut it down to maybe 7 or 5. But while that job displacement has happened in the operations, you've used that budget to create something more on the business side. So a lot of things will change. I think it's the question of how do you adopt to it quickly and how do you enhance your own abilities and learn quickly, go about learning these tools that are available and start using them. I think the important aspect is everybody's talking about AI. But have we really explored the tools that are available to make sure that you make your jobs more efficient? While we do that, one of the things that is also to be into cognizance is that it's not going to be as disruptive as everybody is talking about, because the kind of data that is going to get access to by these bots or by the AI products is something that everybody is going to be looking at, because a lot of biasness may come in those decision-making processes, right? So there, what is going to be impactful is what is your critical thinking ability as a leader or as an employee? Are you going to bring about your judgment there? How do you make sure that your creativity is shown in areas where AI will not be able to help? So in a way, it is not humans versus machines. It is humans and machines working together to make sure that you make your business processes more better. and enhance the whole thing. So that's what my perspective is.
So, Ajay, question for you, rather two questions. And I'll let you collect your thoughts while Shagun gives her perspective. So first the questions to you. First is AI really going to disrupt? Right? Because we have heard of a lot of technologies over the last 30 odd years. They said, nano is going to do this and computers are going to do this. They did little bit. Then something like, Bitcoin, the blockchain is going to change everything. We didn't really see that impact, right? Do you think even AI is going to be like hot air and nothing is going to happen on ground, or something is actually going to happen? And second point is, if that actually happens, then to Manjari's point of data or the security of privacy, how that might happen. So please collect your thoughts while we go to Shagun and come back to you after. Shagun, beta, what's your perspective? What your generation thinks about AI? How it is disrupting your life? Okay, as a child, and your future, how do you look at it?
So for me, AI has never been a disruption. Instead, I've always used it for my own betterment. In fact, I had a debate to make last minute, and I used artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, to prepare a debate and then add a little bit of my own twist to it. So I think AI has been very beneficial for me. In fact, there are many platforms such as Brilliant. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of it, but it's a really nice learning platform. You can use different subjects and it understands your learning patterns, and based on that it gives you different questions, and I think learning platforms in that case is very helpful if it's based towards AI. Another perspective, it's not related to my student life, but I think there are certain jobs that AI cannot replace in any circumstances, such as sports. Right? I'm a huge football fan myself. I play football, I watch football, and I believe that sports is something that AI cannot replace because there is a certain emotion attached to it. There's a different skill of different players. There's something that you look forward to. I'm sure we all know about Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, right? All three of them are known for different things. Messi is known for dribbling, Ronaldo is known for shooting, and Neymar is known for skills. Now, if all of these three are combined and put in one player, then there is no fun in watching the game. There are different things which make different people unique, and I think AI will never be able to achieve that to this extent.
Great. I mean, big words from a young lady. Really well put. So, one quick question and quick answer I want. Okay.
Yeah. No.
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 Okay. So that all creative work done by you?
No, my mom knows.
Mom's not watching.
I don't use AI for homework because all of my answers are in the textbook itself. I don't really have anything complex because I'm just 13. I can just simply Google the answers, and that doesn't really involve AI. But for preparing essays, debates, projects, AI has been a huge advantage for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for your presence.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ajay, all yours.
I'm waiting for Shagun to join corporate now so that that entire world changes for her.
Her father's running a company.
But completely agree with her. See, for me, anything which is shown as a disruption is very temporary in phase. If you look at the history of humankind, right? Whenever there is a change brought into equation, humans necessarily, change management is the most difficult task, right? But once it changes, it becomes a norm for us. When 4-5 years back, when our UPIs came into picture, all of us were cribbing, right? Why are we not using physical money? Now I don't think any of us carry money 5 years later. So AI, like today it may be ChatGPT, tomorrow it may be some other technology, but when new things come into picture and it disrupts a society for a short period of time, then we start finding out the goods and the bads of it. Goods are generally in favor of human beings in terms of getting our jobs done a lot more faster. The flip side to it is the compliance part and the ethical part of it, right? And that's where key people has to actually kind of get intervened. Like we talked about deepfakes earlier in the morning, like she actually showed us videos. It's fun to see those videos, but think about the extremes that can come out of it. But think about that. The moment those videos came into picture, there are a group of people who are thinking about how to actually kind of start controlling those kind of technology, right? And whenever new things come, automatically the rules and laws has to come into picture. But the rules and laws can come because it's a very gray territory. Nobody has actually seen that. It takes a bit of time to understand the goods and bads before we actually start aligning the technology and the rules around that, right? Data privacy is actually one of the biggest issues right now across the world. It's getting tighter and tighter. I think India would have been one of the loosest when it comes to the data privacy laws. But trust me, in the next 1 year time, we are going to be equally tight as I say GDPR, and it's going to be changing quite a bit as we progress, right? So I don't see a disruption there. I think it's more of a minimal irritation for some period of time before we actually get into a better phase.
Right. Thanks, Ajay. Coming to you, Pallavi. So we have in audience the academia, the corporates. Okay, so both stakeholders are here. How do you think it's going to impact the academia, especially the students, the way they learn today, how that learning is going to change, and how should our campuses react to this or upgrade themselves so that they are able to leverage this AI and the power that comes with it to ensure that the learning becomes seamless in future? Would you do that?
Yeah, thanks, really happy to answer this question, right? Because I think our generation, we have started our journey right from the desktops, then floppies, then CDs, and today we are talking about the AI, right? We have seen each and every phase of growing technology. So now the question is, developing AI and future-ready skills, is it a choice? No. It's no more choice. It has become a necessity now, right? If you really want to be aligned with fast-paced technological world. Having said that, we talked about both the aspects, right? Whether it's going to be a disruption or it's going to be an opportunity. In my view, we have to take each and everything which is coming on our way as an opportunity, and wherever we feel it's a disruption, I think it's human mind, human brain who is going to answer that question. So as long as we are going to answer for anything, right, very basic questions, right, why, when, where, and I think it's only us, human mind, which can answer these questions. If the answer is going in the right way, then I think we are following the right path. If no, then we need to find out the answer, why it is no, and to get that answer as what are things we need to do. With this note, I would like to answer your question. Where are we in terms of, when it comes to academia? So is it only the students? These are the only faculties who are going to bring the change? Probably answer is partially no, because again, it has to have a collaborative approach, right? Simultaneously, industries, academics, and everybody probably, right? Everybody has to really look at it as an opportunity. What campuses needs to do, what faculties needs to do, I think first of all, they really need to look forward, and they need to start aligning themselves from the learning standpoint. They need to really work very hard on the infrastructure. And I think important part is the collaboration between industry and the academia. That's something which is kind of lagging in many, many institutes, which is my personal feeling, right? What's happening in the industry, they will come to know only we go and give as a guest lecture. I think they really need to look at different pattern altogether, because when it comes to reskilling and upskilling of the existing employees in the organization, we put in lots of efforts to reach and to take them to the different level altogether. Then why can't we have these students ready, at least partially ready, to take that challenge up and perform in the industry? And I think everybody needs to really think through, right? The policymakers, right? Industrialists, or corporates. They really need to kind of have that collaborative approach towards education system. They also really need to guide. With this note, I would like to say experiential learning, something which is probably missing, which need to be focused on. Because whatever AI could do, they can do it, but they can do it only with the experience. Ultimately, we should not forget one thing. It's we who developed AI. AI has not developed the human brains. It's we who did it, right? So I think it's a collaborative approach, and the learning curve, maybe the technical ability of the students, right? So, I mean, we all are from the HR standpoint, we understand. Right now, if we really want to handle any complex job, I won't go and find only React person. I need to have added advantage along with React plus something, right? Probably to deliver these complex jobs, we need to see, is it really possible for a human being to learn all the aspects and deliver a job at one go? Answer probably, partially would be no, where probably AI will come into the picture. And that's the reason we need to be really, really focused and attentive in terms of where and when we need to use AI to understand the ethical piece of it. Just to give a very simple example, right? As we are trying to have few AI modules to get incorporated in my organization. Of course, you can say it's a budding phase, right? For one of the meeting, we said for one of the senior representative, let's have AI to attend that meeting because he or she is probably unable to make that meeting. Couple of meetings were absolutely fine, which were normal meetings, normal discussions. But when it came to, the important sales meeting, when we started talking about, revenues, profitability, then the question had come into our mind, is it really required to give insider information to a machine? Is it really required? Or it is just to get the data and represent a particular person on behalf of that person, and probably just to, note down the minutes and record the meeting. So I think that's in our hand, where to stop and where to start. So thank you so much.
Great. Audience, here's a small request for all of you. Can you please fold your hands? All of you, yeah? So if you look at your style of folding hands and the style of somebody else's folding hand, I'll request the panel members also to participate in this. Just fold your hands, right? So some people have the right hand on top. Some people have the left hand on top. Some people have both hands like they're covered. That's a unique personality that you have. Now what I'll request you is try and change this personality, okay? If your right hand is on top, try and put your left hand on top. Is it easy? No. It's not easy because I'm asking you to do something that doesn't come naturally to you. Folding this in a normal way, that comes naturally to you. But the moment you try to change it, that will put you it will pull you out of the comfort zone. So the question to you, Joy.
Sure.
We are all going to be out of comfort zone, right? Especially the generation that's coming for jobs. And you are the people custodian for a large company. So you are also the custodian of values of that company. So there's a big question about ethics of AI with deepfake and other negative possibilities that arise out of AI.
Well, in the first place, I did give an impression that, I'm not a fan of AI. I'm a distant fan of AI is the way I want to say, because, I remember I think it was during COVID time, I felt sick. And I said, okay, let me wait for a day. Then I said, okay, let me wait for one more day. And I said, okay, I can wait for one more day. And fourth day, I went to the doctor. It was the same time that my phone conked off. I went and requested the shopkeeper to open from the back door, got it, replaced, because I knew if the smart device is not with me, people will know how smart I am. I could not live with it. I could put up with my own health situation for a longer period than with the situation of my smartphone. Dependencies on some of these tools is something that I want to call out and caution people. Secondly, I don't know whether you have heard about a German thinker called René Descartes. He says, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I exist. He says, you are an existing being because of your thinking ability. To me, anything that takes away human ability, so that's my view on, tools, technology, AI, all of those things. I'm a big fan. Like I said, without smartphone, I could not live even for a single day. Now, coming to your question, Obviously, there are a lot of questions around as to what is the ethicality of some of these things that we do use. What is the risk, not only in current times, even for future days to come for some of these things that we do. ChatGPT, which is used left and right by people. Do you know if someone is going to sue you for intellectual property rights someday? Because it's all written by somebody. It's all somebody's material. Today, I feel, technology enables me, therefore I can use it at free will. I would like all of us to exercise our thinking, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I exist. Don't belittle our own existence by overly depending on tools that look fancy, that add to speed and color to your life, is the way I look at it as.
Thanks, Jai. We also have Baliram with us. Baliram, a very interesting perspective there. The ability to think, the ability to be creative. Now, we can't stop technology. It is bound to come sooner or later. And when it comes, it's bound to disrupt certain things. So, in your opinion, who's safe? Right? I mean, there will be certain pockets of people who are going to be safe, and there are certain pockets that are going to have a major impact on them. So, my question to you is, who's going to be safe? And if it's going to disrupt me, how can I ensure that I am safe in that environment?
All right, this is an interesting question. In terms of who is safe, who is not safe. Easy to answer, but before that, I'd like to just give the perspective because AI has come in my life a couple of decades back during my engineering itself, where I did my project. Okay, though it was theoretical project, but it got introduced at that time. And for me, because I was knowing some concept, today also I didn't feel too much of, worry about AI. Okay, and incidentally, I represent one of our HR association called as HR Infotech, which is non-profit organization since 28 years. I get opportunity to talk on this topic at multiple forums, and also get opportunity to learn also. So, best part out of this is the kind of technology, the way Joy is talking, the person who is going to leverage the technology for betterment, it's definitely ease. Okay, people will going to live their life for maybe 100 plus years, 120 years, because the AI will going to have the kind of technology revolution or transformation where one chip will go in your body, and probably it will really get the future disease and prevention at earlier stage, how we can get it done. In fact, I happened to visit at very nearest place at Baramati, where they are using AI to predict how probably on crops also what kind of insects and what kind of challenges they are going to face proactively. So that kind of projects are already happening, okay, including Baramati kind of place. So when it comes to leveraging it, all of us, we are safe, okay? But at the same time, as other panelists said, if some tasks which are really repetitive, it doesn't have real value addition, and then probably this task will be definitely picked up by machine, okay? So when even internet came few years back or few decades back, that time also that was worry exist that what will happen, whether my money is safe, okay? Whether I should really use the online banking, etc. So, but today we understand, we are using different this, phone pay or GPay and all this, just, and at times we are not also, putting the passcode, and it is getting transferred. So, a lot of things happening at the same time. It is misuse as well, okay. So, mantra here is, if you are able to scale up, if you are able to get the technology adoption as quick as possible, learn it and use it and make it better, then you will enjoy the journey. Otherwise, it is very clear that you will become redundant. And I would like to give the message to specifically to academicians and students. I feel that at student life, you are blessed that you are at this stage. Okay, I feel regret to myself that I could have studied at this time, and I could have started my career journey, because this is exciting time. Okay, so the future is definitely bright. It's like how we can leverage and move ahead and make wonders So that's the mantra which I would like to quote here.
Great. Manjari and Ajay, for both of you, and you can decide who goes first. In your field, your domain, which are the things that are going to be redundant? Like he said, the repetitive tasks will be taken over by AI. So in your expertise, which are the fields that would go, and what would change in your domains?
So there are multiple examples, but I'll give you one finest examples that all of us can relate to, right? Once in a while, if you have fallen down on somebody in the family, has broken a bone or something, the first thing that we do is a CT scan or an MRI scan, right? Exactly 4 or 5 years back, when a scan report comes, you theoretically had to wait 24 hours for the radiologist to translate the scan and give you the results out of that. If you look at most of the good machines out there, all of them actually give you the scan plus the report in what it is that in less than an hour's time. All the radiologist has to do is sign off. We will eventually reach a state where even the radiologist will not be there. So and we are actually in India, I don't know how many of you are actually kind of looking at what's happening on the government medical field. Accessibility to care is one of the biggest things, where the machines are not available for almost half of the districts which are available in India. So there are machines which are going to be going into these kind of districts, and people can do their scan. Assume that the machine can go only with a driver. There is no radiologist over there. Somebody just lies down on the bed and their scan gets done and the result gets done. So if a radiologist's job can be made redundant with the use of AI in the last 5 years' time, something which is repetitive can be used with a logic, can be actually redundant. So if you look at most of the KPO jobs which are out there, data entry jobs, these are practically the jobs which are going to be incidentally taken off first. But again, all of these people can be reskilled into something. Nothing will run on its own. So reskilling opportunities there, like everybody attacked the solution, right? If people are open for change, then there is no shortage of, or rather there is no fear of losing a job out there.
Thanks. Manjari?
Yeah, just to add on top of what he said, I think like we have been talking throughout the session, right, that you need to keep upskilling yourself or learning newer things as and when, technology, I'll not use the disruption, but transformation that is coming in the industry. So I think, a lot of us have already seen that customer success, support, data entry, as he said, manning the receptions and all of that. So that's taken over by AI. One of the main things as we move forward in enterprises, what will happen is there are going to be AI for the enterprise, in the sense that the amount of data that any enterprise generates, that's humongous. And all functions, in a way today we do not have one repository of data which will give us insights from all the org level or enterprise level data that is available. So that's going to be one of the biggest blessing for any enterprise, that you have your own AI, because you will have your secured data. Data is not going to go out anywhere. There's enough security that is going to be available. And any kind of data that is available across the organization will be available for you to make your decisions, for AI to assist you to make the decisions. So in a way, people need to change their, as I said earlier also, right? Learn newer technologies to make sure that you make your current jobs easier. And then apply your brains and your critical thinking and your creativity to make sure that you make the right decisions for the organizations. I think that's the key. Nobody's jobs are going to be taken away. It's just that the form or the roles are going to change, or the content of the job will change. So long as you are, as he rightly said, so long as you are ready to adapt quickly and learn, I think there are enough jobs that are going to get created due to AI.
Yeah, I'll quickly add, the way we had transformation from industrial age to the information age, and this is we are tending towards the imagination age, okay, where how we can get the imagination, and if we are able to just define the problem statement itself, then trust me, the solution is not far. It's just, you need to come out with the problem statement properly. Okay, so whatever information, if you are able to convert into the digital mode, that today's technology, the way it has, it will definitely give the solution. Okay, So technology is definitely the backbone for all these things, and the AI kind of technology will boost this backbone and help us to get this solution faster. And individual has to think from solution perspective, and again at student level, I just quickly would like to just say that try solving problems on a day-to-day basis. Okay, some problems may be technology related, some problems may be non-technology related, but if you are in a mode of solving problems, then you'll have a really bright future.
Thanks, Barry. But very interesting point about prompt engineering. Are you able to frame the problem for AI to solve? I mean, AI can give you answers, but if your questions are not correct, then the answers are also not going to be correct. So, Tulsi, you made a very interesting point, and since we are running short of time, if you could just briefly touch upon, you said about enhancing the cognitive ability of humans, right? Creativity. How can the colleges and institutes who are here, how can they do that? Especially to the students, like saying, okay, learn AI is very simple, go and do a course or a certification. But how to maintain that creativity and how to use AI in a way that it is beneficial to us and not to AI. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so cognitive ability, firstly, to be able to enhance that, it's important to understand the cognitive ability by itself. And it's not something like a rocket science that you do overnight. It's something that you develop over a period of time, over years of learning, right from your K-12. So I would go back to the education system that's prevalent in our country specifically. It's been changing a little bit for better, but I think it needs a big shift. We've been talking about it for ages, for decades now. The shift has started to happen, but it's not really happening. So it needs to change 180 degrees from the way we are teaching today. So our pedagogy of teaching, our learning, our technological systems, constantly trying to research and develop the content, the curated content that's required. We're talking about the gap between the industry and academia. So the onus is not just on the academia to be able to produce talent which is ready for corporates. It's also the responsibility of the industry to work hand in glove with the academia to constantly provide input that's needed by the academia so that they can provide what's needed. I mean, unless you know the customer requirement, the customer is pestering you with this is needed, that's needed. How is it that you would be able to upskill your students and be able to provide that sort of talent? I mean, it can't just be confined to annual touch points of internships and placements and guest lectures and some award ceremonies. It has to be beyond that, also from the industry standpoint. It just can't be confined to the academia reaching out time and again. So it's something which you develop at the start at a very young age. So there are there's a lot of content that's available on cognitive ability for us to read up, but it's not something that you take a particular course and you say, okay, I'm developing my cognitive ability. There are practices, there are exercises, there is a particular course methodology that you go follow it and study it. And that's something which happens at a very young age when you're actually in your pre-nursery and you start working on it. So it puts the entire assembly line in place right from your K-12 to your primary, secondary, and then you move forward to your higher studies, and then your executive education and leadership education. And the requirement from time to time actually keeps differing, because what's excellence today turns out to be mediocrity tomorrow, because the bar of excellence keeps changing. It doesn't remain the same. So it's something which you start developing at a very young age instead of saying overnight magic.
Great, thanks. Pallavi, will end with you. As corporates, how can we help the academia in bridging this gap, and also, giving that vision of the future, how it's going to change for us and how they can scale up and ensure that the students benefit from it? How can we help them?
Sure. So taking a thread of what I said and what Tulsi also made a point, right? we need to really start look beyond what we are doing right now. So it's our equal responsibility, because we need to be agile first of all, right? We know what's happening in the industry, and I think it's our responsibility also to go back and start talking to the campuses, saying that, hey, this is what we require, this is what they expected out of the students. If probably they are not getting benefited out of what you are doing right now, then it's a time for them to change the curriculum also. They really need to start looking from developing their infrastructure. They really need to nurture the talent what they have within them. Where the world heading to, and where are they? I think that gap is something which probably we are the one who are able to fill that gap, and we are going to guide the academic students and the faculties, saying that, hey, this is where probably the learning curve is required. And I think the innovation is something is on top of everything, right? Because with this note, I just want to conclude saying that one sentence, saying that technology landscape is too vast. It's changing day by day, right? In world of developing this AI and future skilled ready based, right? It is, though it's a destination, but it's a continuous journey. It just cannot stop in between. You have to learn, and to achieve that, we need lots of commitment from each one of us, not only the people sitting over here, but everybody in the room, I guess, including the government too. Everybody plays very, very important role into it. You need to be agile, you need to be innovative, and you need to have that mindset to embrace the change which is going to come on a way. Right, so that's how I guess everybody needs to be equally contributed, right? If we really need to match the pace of where are we heading to. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm sure Chinmay is already sweating because we exceeded the time. So we'll wrap it up here. But all these experts are available to you here as well as outside. So if you have any questions, we will take them offline.
Just I'll quickly add on that, because we are talking only about AI, but I was talking to some of the placement officers as well as some of the training institutes, and today we see a huge gap in terms of some of the students. Their attitude itself is not in terms of really in learning and really would like to get, but they are going into the ready-made kind of zone. That's something which need to break. AI and everything is okay, industry will take care, will train, but you need to get some of these students at least at trainable level. Okay, they should be able to solve the problem, they should have the problem solving attitude, they should be able to communicate. Okay, their analytical skills should be up to the mark, their basic concept should be there. Today we are rejecting a lot of people not having some of these basics. Okay, we are not expecting the AI from the freshers. Trust me, I hope all of you are agree. We are not expecting the AI from the freshers. We will teach them in the corporate, but the basic is important.
No, great, because that's what she spoke about, the cognitive, how to improve all those aspects.
For me, just to add, part of the basics. For me, technology is only a means, it's not an end. The other day I was in a campus and somebody asked me, what technology should I learn to get a job? I said, don't learn any technology. Have basic engineering skills, rest of it. Wherever you are, they will actually teach you, and it's a question of 2 to 3 months' time. That every organization has got the willingness. Basics such as purpose, patience, perseverance. Today people leave job without a valid reason. People join organizations without a valid reason. I don't know when is it going to end. Educational institutions, I think, should focus on some of those fundamentals. My definition of fundamentals are some of those, 3 or 4 things can be called as values, can be called as virtues. Patience, significantly missing. Purpose, people are all around. Perseverance, they have no time. They have no patience. Yeah, thank you for that.
Great. Thanks for your opinion, and I'm sure it doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. Thank you for your time, Ajay, Manjari, Bariram, Joy, Pallavi and Tulsi. Thank you so much for coming all the way and participating. And thank you everybody. Initially we thought there are not many people, but I can see that the hall is full now. Thank you so much for your attention.
informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.
In this conference, I was very happy to meet many stalwarts in the Pune IT and technology industry ecosystem, and some of them are also promoting a lot of startups. There's a reason why we thought of bringing India Startup Festival to Pune, good ecosystem, startup ecosystem in Pune. Thank you.
Plants and the flowers and stuff that you see across the country, they are being generated by the companies in Pune. I can't name the companies right now, but you talk about banana, you talk about these bulb flowers. They are produced by the people in Pune, and not many people know about it. The second thing that all of us have been recently seeing is the decorations by plants that is being done. Again, the surprising thing that I saw in Pune, the entire thing that has been provided to the entire country. So that is the level of employment they have generated through agriculture. Other than that, IT is well spoken. We know it has educational institutions of good quality here. So we have complete ecosystem in Pune which is available.
I have seen a lot of education institutes, the number of universities. So from the talent point of view, it definitely gives us an edge.
What I'm seeing, what was missing in Bangalore, because my base is Bangalore. The Bangalore has the biggest advantage we used to call weather. I think you have the same weather. What Bangalore do not have, the engineering base. I think 3 decades back, sir, I did my mechanical engineering. I think you got all the ingredients which is needed for perfect recipe. I'm sure, I think the Pune will have good time in this AI era. Thank you.
I have kept my base in Pune for last 19 plus years, and I've been chit-chatting with some of our colleagues here as part of the panel team. And I've spent almost 8 to 9 years outside India. However, India and Pune has always called me back. I've never left this as my base, and I'm proud to say that for various reasons, because of the culture part, because of the weather part. The city just has its vibe, which just keeps you grounded. And I'm so excited with all the discussions we are having since morning, and with Dr. Chaudhary sharing his vision of setting up a startup ecosystem here in Pune. Could not be more excited, and I pledge my support to be a mentor in this startup ecosystem. I would love to see Pune startup ecosystem grow leaps and bounds, because I'm very sure that we have all the basic ingredients which are required for a city to be in place to support and foster a culture of innovation which is required to maintain a startup ecosystem.
We help people with disabilities get dignified economic livelihood opportunities. So it could be an artist, a performer, or a person looking for a full-time job opportunity or an internship. So with that understanding, as we are talking about AI and automation, something that really excites me is that how this AI will make the tech, like AI and technology will make it an equalizer for even people with disability. It will make education for all, and it will also make employability for all. That is what makes me very excited about understanding the power that AI holds. In terms of specifically what makes me very excited about being in Pune also is, what we have realized is we also started giving special skills to people with disabilities because education gaps exist. The physical infrastructure is not still very supportive in the schools and the college ecosystem. So what we started doing is we also started skilling people with disabilities, learning what are the relevant skills needed to get you a job. And in the process, when we've been skilling, apart from the top 4 metros, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Hyderabad, we have seen the maximum number of people from Pune who are willing to come forward and acquire those skills. So I'm very excited what Pune has to offer. There is a willingness to learn. There is a willingness in the youth to prove themselves and do something very special. So I'm looking forward to how Pune will produce more of like entrepreneurs, have people in the IT space, in the technology space, and that is what excites me the most about Pune.
We used to call this a pensioners paradise, and now it's an IT hub. Pune is also known as the Oxford of the East. So we never had a shortage of talent. Enthusiasm, passion, and the energy that the students get to the IT sector is commendable, right? Pune is the place to be. Pune is the place where startups will happen. I'm very, very, very happy that ITTL is doing a session here in Pune today, and I'm very happy to meet Dr. Chaudhary, and I'm sure that in the next session we're gonna take it to the next level. I'm very happy to also be a part of the mentoring team. Pune is the place to be. Yeah.
There are a lot of companies in Pune and the talent is already there, and thanks to Dr. Chaudhary for starting a startup initiative. This is the time. Technology is at the cusp of a change. We are witnessing a great seismic change in technology. We are witnessing a great change in talent, and this is a great time for us to be together. And I think Pune is the place, and my heart and my soul is here. So obviously anything to help Pune and give back to the city, which has given me so much. Very happy to be part of the initiative from Dr. Chaudhary.
This beautiful story, which started with ISF, knitting all the cities together and bringing some of the gems from global arena, from London to GCC, on one platform, on one stage. This is how the journey of entrepreneurship started. How we can actually learn from this Oxford of East, how we can bring together the industry from Pune and make it collaborate with the entrepreneurs, upcoming innovators, and the people with a lot of jugaad in their mind, and convert it into the business which can make a national impact. I am highly thankful to all the stalwarts, and specifically to Dr. Chaudhary sir, who has been a guiding spirit for all of us. I would request all of you to please continue to support this initiative.
Together, I think we'll make it happen. Thank you so much for your participation, and looking forward to seeing all of you in February when we have the India Startup Festival in Pune.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to MyStartuptv.
Leo works as a niche business consulting firm where we connect money to opportunity. For the startup, there's instant money being sent within 30 days. We have about 8 VC partners across India. But for us to show them 5 opportunities, we go over about 300 opportunities. We have 102 members who are industry leaders, business veterans with a combined net worth of over 25,000 crores. Our motto is to become the trusted partner in your wealth creation journey.
Welcome to this episode of Founder Talk Show, the show where 1 lakh audience of MyStartuptv get to meet with some of the most brilliant founders. Hello, I'm majorsunilshetty, your host today. Let me start the introduction of today's guest with a small heads up. He is a founder, an angel investor, and cricket enthusiast, and a very young leader who has gone on to become a motivator to budding leaders. My guest today is Monish Yara, founder of Leaders for India organization, also known as LEO. Welcome Monish, welcome to the show.
Hello Major Sunil, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, for the people out there, let's demystify who Monish is all about. So tell us about yourself.
Absolutely. I just turned 29 3 days ago. I did my undergraduation in the US.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did my schooling here in Hyderabad. I'm a complete Hyderabad boy. Finished my undergraduation in the US at Purdue University. Worked on at a Fortune 500 in manufacturing for 4.5 years, based in California. Then did my MBA from Europe, Spain, and moved back here to India with a strong motivation and enthusiasm to start something of my own. And that's how Leaders for India organization started. It's a business community which connects money to opportunity. Our motto is to become the trusted partner in your wealth creation journey. And we specialize in any sort of traditional business opportunities startup equity opportunities, project-based funding opportunities, where we're able to create a win-win not only for the investor but also for the startup/business owner.
You're also a cricket enthusiast,
Yes.
right? So tell us about that part of the sports side of
Sure. I started playing cricket at a very young age. I played for the school cricket team, was a captain of the school cricket team, then played at the university level, then I played leagues in California. I think any sportsman or an athlete, any sort of sports like cricket, basketball, badminton, they teach you a lot about punctuality, dedication towards the sport, team building, listening to your coach/mentor, and it gives you a sense of respect to your opponents but also to your teammates. So during this journey of mine, I've realized cricket to be a great stress buster, but also at the same time we're able to unite people of different backgrounds, share the same platform and work towards a single goal. So I'm a huge admirer of the sport. I play it regularly, and I believe that it's a propellant in unlocking different business opportunities, because I think in today's generation a lot of us believe more in the execution part of it rather than sharing ideas. I believe in today's generation, between our friends and other members of Leo, it takes us 5 to 10 minutes to blow through different topics like sports, politics and movies. I think all of us are more interested in knowing what is their business doing, how can we help each other out, what is your top line, what is your bottom line, what are the best practices in the industry. So it's become a great networking platform, I would say.
As a sports person, cricketer, and as an entrepreneur, there are a lot, people say, you can learn a lot from sports and apply that to entrepreneurship, and 3 things or 4 things that you picked from sport that you applied to entrepreneurship.
I think the first and foremost would be team spirit and team building. I think when you're working towards a common goal with a group of friends or a group of allies, you have that shared interest which can take you a long way. Second is punctuality, get towards the common interest or achieving a big task, cutting it down into smaller tasks and finishing them properly. Third is mentoring, listening to your coach. The fourth is, of course, having that innate drive and passion to succeed. I think these are a few things I would single out that sports persons have, which sets them apart from the normal crowd.
Coming to your journey as an international student, when you went to US and you pursued your industrial engineering. So how much that part of your journey is helping you in your current position as a founder of Leo? What is that you brought in from there that you are able to use today or leverage today in your entrepreneurial journey?
The first and foremost is the fact that when you're there abroad, the onus is on you to perform because you're paying such a big fees to the university. And more importantly, another factor is the exposure level. There's major are so different and so unique. I think you're transported to a completely different world on its own. I think a few experiences that I can share is I've spoken to someone in my team who's actually worked on the political campaign of Barack Obama. The person who handles the finances of Colombia's 4th largest power plant producer, and the largest bank in France, their lineage. And when you're exposed to people of such diverse backgrounds and such unique forms of upbringing, I think it sort of expands your own thought horizons to new ideas and accepting new realities. So I think that is the most important thing you would take away, and you would realize that there is no glass ceiling. The whole world putting the right team together and executing.
So how did the whole idea about Leo and why did it come about?
Leo is not something that happened overnight. Back in 2014, it was me and a couple of friends. We were trying to think about how we can leverage our businesses to make the maximum output. So for example, my family owns education institutions here in Hyderabad, and one thing that we were having as a Achilles heel was the transport. So we have 180 buses. So one of my other good friends who owns a large transport company based out of Hyderabad, they have about 2,500 vehicles. He pitched the idea to me saying, why don't you outsource transport management to us and we'll take care of the diesel, the route settings, making sure that the insurance on each bus is there, all the drivers have their driver's license renewed and other things. That seemed like a great idea, because something that was our weakness was a strength for my friend, and we were looking for ways how we can synergize. So that's how the idea struck, and then I ideated on it a lot. I started thinking, what is that one factor that can bring the entire community together? Was it cars? Maybe not. Was it cricket? Maybe not. But we realized that business was that one joining factor where everyone was interested to come together on the same platform and explore these synergies. So that's how the idea sort of began. That's the inception of the idea. And as of today, where we are with Leaders for India organization is we have 102 members who are industry leaders, business veterans, and experts in their field, with a combined net worth of over 25,000 crores. And in the last year and a half, we facilitated 20 crores for 16 different business opportunities. So Leo works as a niche business consulting firm where we connect money to opportunity, and we're also helping people synergize their businesses.
Does the money come from within the members, or is it the members or your investors, and then that gets to businesses outside the organization?
Members directly investing into the companies or business opportunities themselves, where Leo is that vehicle or a facilitator where we are doing our due diligence on the companies. We are setting up the special purpose vehicles for people to invest in, and we are making sure that the investors' interests are protected, the shareholders' interests are protected, and we are able to add our strategic value through the members' businesses or our own strategies and investment team, where we're propelling the valuation of each company, and then we're also getting a manufactured exit. So if we are doing this as a cohort, the advantage to the startup or business owner is that he doesn't have to knock on 100 different doors to raise funding or to market his idea. He can just come to a business community like Leo. We'll groom them, make sure that their pitch deck has the business plan, the financial modeling, the projections, the GTM strategy. And after we are able to source one or two investors from our network itself, then we put them in front of the entire community, and whoever is interested at that point can get into the company immediately. So for the startup, there's instant money being sent within 30 days. We have about 8 VC fit for the investors. Their interests are protected. We're able to their return on investment market price to get into the stock. Take care of all.
Hey, how do I become member of
Yes,
Leo?
yes. Main criteria may be criteria, the fire in the belly criteria. The only thing we tell them is value from the community. And as an investor, or just to be a part of the networking events that we keep hosting. And the minimum investment that we suggest each member to do is 5 lakhs in one opportunity. That way, different baskets, and there's a diversification to their portfolio.
How do you spread the risk? Investing in that one particular fund,
right,
and the money get then distributed. Risk. So is that something you do, or it is? I give 5 lakhs and that gets parked into one.
So that's of what people do. So there is also our wealth management. So today in this method where money should be going and we diversify the portfolio. When a person becomes a member of Leo, to them is this option where they, so in any one startup or any one business, we ask them to invest 5 lakhs. It is up to them if they want to do 5 lakhs. Risk appetite is, how much money they can generate every year, and we'll tell them, we'll show them 5 opportunities, about 300 opportunities. So the opportunities which are presented to the members, it's already curated based on the that company is, how the founders also know that this 3 to 5 years. So that's completely up to you. We have had members who have started off with 5 lakhs. We've had members who are doing 25 lakhs. It's all that members' interest, their belief in that particular industry where they're putting the money in.
As an organization, is it limited to only?
So we do have a program for the stock market as well, but there we actually take it through our wealth management wing. But the speciality of Leo, or the niche of Leo, is in having startups, SMMEs, even large business organizations. Even the biggest of unicorns today might have that one C-level executive who wants to exit and sell his block of shares. So that's where we specialize in. We connect those privately held shares to our investors, where they can get the share certificate and everything transferred. And also in other project-based financing, which means in media and entertainment. Like I believe movies are a great opportunity for people. I think movies like a startup, and the director is like the founder of the company. The producer becomes an investor, and the script is sort of your business plan. It actually goes out, that's where you know whether the product is working or not. And it's also a very, very quick startup in and exit, because you know within the first, in the morning show, you know whether the movie is going to do well or not. And with other revenue channels like OTT, satellite, remake rights, multiple platforms to make sure that the money is coming back as well. In fact, we recently did a particular transaction in the movie industry as well. We're very, very happy with the result. The movie actually released on November 3rd, where me and another Leo member produced 55% of the movie cost. If anyone wants to start with 5 lakhs, if we're able to aggregate maybe 20 investors, we have our 1 crore, and we can actually do a quick short film and release it on one of the OTT platforms with minimal risk.
Now coming to the investment environment itself,
yes,
what is your take at this point in time for specifically startups? How does it look?
I think that's a great question, Major. I think from where I'm operating from, there are 2 ways to look at it. It's a double-edged sword. Of course, the first one is, we used to hear a term called a revenue multiple, where many startups were, if they have X revenue, they were doing 30X and 40X on the revenue and getting funding. This was during the COVID era, a little before COVID era. But right now, we are experiencing a funding winter. The VCs or angel investors, it's not as free-flowing. The checks are not as free-flowing as they were in the past. But at the same time, this being one end of it, the other end of it, in my opinion, is a glass half full mentality, where we see there are some amazing startups with some amazing founders, great experience, great team, which are available at a discounted valuation today.
So that's where the opportunity.
That's where the opportunity is, right? So we have to become greedy when people are fearful, as Warren Buffett has mentioned, and we have to capitalize on these opportunities, which Leo is doing full-fledged.
For a founder, startup founders, if they have to reach out to you, to Leo, and ask for funding, what's the way to go forward?
So the best way would be to apply on our website. So on our website, we have two specific links. The first is become a member. So once they fill out the form and send it to us, one of our personnel will reach out to them within 48 hours and understand their investment needs and share details on the membership. The second is a startup looking for an investment or an opportunity looking for an investment, and there's an exhaustive list of questions that we ask. We have certain criteria that we want the business opportunity to meet. They need to be doing revenues of over 1 crore every year. They have to show us their path to profitability. We have to have innate confidence on the founder. When they meet these three things, they can answer all the questions, and our team will reach out to them within a week whether we want to invest or not. So we are sort of like a very expedited and clean process where we're very transparent with both investors and startup whether we want to proceed, move ahead or not. And they can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm quite active on LinkedIn, and me or someone from our team will immediately get back to them.
Oh, that's good to hear, because one of the complaints from founders is it's very difficult to reach out to investors, right? So somebody like you is managing wealth and also has a component of where you work with the VCs, and if you're approachable, that's music to the the ears of founders.
Thank you so much.
Which is really good. So what's the vision like from, let's say, 5 years from now?
In the next 3 years, Major, we want to open 5 chapters in India. So right now we've established a very strong presence in Hyderabad. So as of August 12th at the Indian Startup Festival, we've started our Bangalore chapter, and we have been taking membership requests and startup requests from Bangalore also. So our path is to move to Indore, Mumbai and Delhi. So that then we'll have 5 locations in India, and the first international location we're planning to do it in London. So we're getting a lot of interest from NRIs from UK and US specifically, where they've already amassed their wealth in different industries there, and they're looking to diversify and invest in India. So there's been a lot of interest from them. So we're catering to all of those needs, because previously, maybe 20 years back, their best bet would have been land.
Yes.
But now that 1 acre of land in Hyderabad is costing 100.75 crores, it's not reasonable that you'll get your return on investment quickly. So people with the holding capacity of about 3 to 5 years, startups or business opportunities are a great bet, especially because your investment amount is lower, on the lower end of the spectrum, with about 5 lakhs. And we don't allow investors directly to put the 5 lakhs in the company anyway. We aggregate about 10 to 15 investors, and we put anywhere from 50 lakhs to 75 lakhs in the company. That way we have all the investors' interests protected, and you're representing not one person, you're representing 100 people, right? So that way we command that sort of presence on the cap table of the company as well.
You said indoor and tier 2 cities also you're looking at.
Yes.
What's driving you towards tier 2? Why I ask this question is,
yes,
when you talk about startups, right?
Yes.
Typically it is Hyderabad, Bangalore, the NCR region, Mumbai, but we also see, as MyStartuptv has been going out on the ground, we see there's a huge rush and push demand from tier 2 cities like Bhubaneswar or Indore. What's your take on it?
The innate aspirational value of people living in tier 2 cities is equal to people living in a tier 1 or much higher. So people in those cities, they don't have the different spending avenues like we have in a tier 1 city. But people in tier 2 in fact are earning a lot of money, like the doctors, like the automotive dealership owners, or the real estate personnel in these tier 2 cities. they're earning a lot of money. The construction folk, the people who are software employees, and for them, there is an innate need to become someone. So they have that level of aspirational value. So I definitely think that there'll be a great target market for, they'll be the perfect audience for Leo.
Somebody said this, they said there's a demand, they have the money.
Yes.
As compared to the urban folks, right? So,
Absolutely.
so that's where it is. Tier 2 cities have the money, just that they're looking for opportunity to put the money.
Absolutely.
Monish comes from a business family. You could have taken, easy thing for you would have been, get into your, family business.
Yes.
Why start something different? What is that driving you?
I think the biggest purpose in my life is to leave behind a legacy. I think in 100 years from now, I want people to look back and think that, Monish has done something cool, or he's actually come out of his comfort zone and tried something new, and he's paved the path for, let's say, 10,000 jobs and built multiple businesses and created that level of impact in the business ecosystem. I think that to me would be a great honor if I'm able to complete that and accomplish that in the business society. Of course, I have very, very good and highly qualified mentors who've been supporting me on this journey, and I've been learning so much from them. That also being said, I've had great support from our family. I think our businesses have been professionally run for the last 25 years or so. So even if I am there, I might not add as much value as the existing personnel. So it's a very exciting journey, Major. I think I'm someone who's very, very curious. I didn't want to be in the same business 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So now that I'm a startup investor, we've started our family office. It's called MyCap Investments, Monishera Capital Investments. And over the last 3 years, we've invested in 18 different business opportunities. So every day I'm working on a different company, every day I'm adding value to a different company, every day I'm solving a problem that someone else is not able to solve, which gives me a great sense of accomplishment and makes my day very, very exciting.
You said you are 29, just
turned 29.
Just turned 29.
Yes.
And the journey that you have done in the last 29 years, especially the last 5-6 years, is amazing.
Thank you.
And I wish and I hope to see you on 30 under 30 leadership segment.
Thank you so much.
Many congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Major. Thank you for your time today.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.
Leo works as a niche business consulting firm. It's a business community where we connect money to opportunity, and we're also helping people synergize their businesses. We specialize in any sort of traditional business opportunities, startup equity opportunities, project-based funding opportunities, where we're able to create a win-win, not only for the investor, but also for the startup / business owner. Members directly investing into the companies or business opportunities themselves, where Leo is that vehicle or facilitator where we are doing our due diligence on the companies, we are setting up the special purpose vehicles for people to invest in, and we are making sure that the investors' interests are protected. The shareholders' interests are protected. For the startup, there's instant money being sent within 30 days. We have about 8 VC partners across India. For the investors, they are able to make sure that their interests are protected, we're able to get a good exit for them. The FIB criteria, the fire in the belly criteria. So there is no geography restriction, there is no net worth restriction, there is no company or business restriction. The only thing we tell them is you have to add value to the community, you have to take value from the community. The minimum investment that we suggest each member to do is 5 lakhs in one opportunity. So there is also our wealth management wing, where people just transfer the funds to us and we manage it on their behalf. So today, in this method, we are managing about 9 crores and 5 lakhs in total. But for us to show